Hello everybody, and welcome back. Really hoping the recording works this time, because it has been very slow going, which is quite inconvenient. So here's hoping I can actually get through a full episode without recording just completely breaking. So, back to where we left off. We did a nice supply mission, we got some resources, and we started building some base structures. Now, I'm realizing I didn't explain any of the game at all. So, I figure I might as well do a bit of that now. Obviously, resources, tech and materials, you need those to build anything. You need those to build, you need those to build buildings, and you need those to manufacture all the weapons and everything. Food, your soldiers, obviously, however many soldiers you have, that's how much food you lose every day, every couple of hours. I don't know how fast you lose it, but that's how much food your soldiers eat. It will never be a big enough number that you're going to run out of food. I've never gotten to a point in the game where I've had so many soldiers that I didn't have enough food to feed them. Your manufacturing or your fabrication plants are listed right here. Those help you build things faster. The more you have, the quicker you build things. The research labs, this is the number of research labs you have. The more research labs you have, the quicker you can research things. For the bases, you have all your structures. This heals troops for this heals troops a certain number of health every hour. This gives troops a certain number of stamina every hour, and it also the living quarters are what allow you to house troops. Each living quarters I think each living quarter gives you about 4 troops, and I think you start with the 4 to 8 troops, I'm not sure, and you start with a default with 8. Your vehicle bays heals your aircrafts and vehicles, and it allows you to hold 2 of each at the base. For every vehicle bay you have, that's the number of vehicles and aircraft you can hold. Storage facilities, where is it? The store. Obviously, it's just storage. You can hold this many items. You really don't need more than 2 or 3 of these, so they're not super important. You'll always have an excess of storage as you get more bases. The satellite link, that is, well, this little 5% right here, that's the satellite area that it's discovered. It'll slowly a ring will get bigger and appear around here as time moves on. Is there anything I'm missing? The energy generator, that just provides power for your base. This is how much power you have. There is a research option we can get later in the game that will up this to 30 instead of 20. So I will be able to hold, I'll be able to fill all 4 of these slots with things and not have to turn certain items off to have everything functioning properly. For personnel, snipers, obviously, long-range fighters, they excel in overwatching, they excel in covering areas on the enemy's turn. They can reduce the cost of their weapons so that they can shoot more and do more damage. Obviously, they have super high accuracy. And then later in the game, they can remove armor, and they can also make the enemies take more damage. You want to build these guys, pretty much you want them to be fast, and you want them to have a lot of willpower. They don't need to have a ton of health because they should be in the back, but they should still get a lot of health, same as all the rest of your troops. Your assaults. The assault class. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, snipers, obviously, they excel with sniper rifles and handguns. Assault, they're proficient with assault rifles and shotguns. They are meant to be fast. They, they move around the map, they shoot things, they kill things. They have, they're very good at killing. They run around, kill something, and they get their action points back and they move. They're really good at getting far and getting a shot off. They have return fire, which means they can cover themselves if they get shot on their turn. They can put some fire back at the enemy. They have ready for action, which allows them to do actions like reloading or picking things up without costing an action point. So they're very good at managing your army's inventory in the middle of a battle. They need to be really fast. They need to be really fast, a little bit more tanky than snipers, but they don't need as much will points, because they do use them a lot, but they will be killing more enemies, so they will be getting them back more often. As for heavies, obviously these guys, their weapon costs 3 action points to shoot, so they can't move very far when they shoot, which is why they have the jump pack to help with this. But they become very good melee fighters. They can control enemies. They can use multiple grenades. They can do a ton of damage, shooting at one enemy 5 times in a row. These guys are very good at getting in close, tanking hits, and dealing a ton of damage. So obviously you want to build them with a ton of health and a ton of will points. And then speed is always nice to have, but they're going to be a little bit slower anyways, so it's okay if they're not the fastest in the group. Our heavy here has received a level, so we are going to unlock, which gives him these 2 perks. The first class perk for the heavy is Brawler, which means he can use melee weapons, and his bash and melee attacks do 50% more damage. Because of this specific upgrade, it turns the heavy into a very, very good melee fighter. I'm just trying to see the difference in these stats real quick. Yeah, but because of that upgrade, it turns the heavy into a very, very good melee fighter late game, and he will be able to dish out a ton of damage. But for now, I'm going to give him some more will points since he's kind of lacking, and eventually he will be needing a lot of those to use Warcry, which is a very, very important ability that I will be discussing when we get it. As for the Air Force, these are our planes. This is where we manage our planes. You can look at them, you can rename them and whatever, but I don't really need to do that. The range is how far they can go. This is how far they move every hour, so it takes 5 hours to move across this full range, I think. This is how many troops they can hold, this is how much armor they have, how much health they have. It's not a ton, but it's okay. Eventually we will unlock weapons and defensive abilities for our planes, but as of right now we don't have that. Obviously research, kind of talked about that. You'll get projects that come up, and as you get those, you get all these. You put them in here, and once they complete, you get whatever the bonus effect is. The Pandorans, this talks about all the different types of enemies that we have, but you see those in missions. Manufacturing, this is where all our equipment, armor, and vehicles are, and obviously, as we do more research, more of them will show up. Diplomacy, this is where the factions show up. And then that's pretty much it. So, with my heavy upgraded, we're gonna move on. And here we have come in contact with the faction, the Poison Within. At the Disciple Xanu Haven of Carchemish, a mutated worm infestation is causing serious problems. The locals have placed their hopes in Taxiarch Nergal, the Disciples' greatest military hero. But Nergal is said to be fighting a series of pitched battles against Pandorans and has been unable to help. We could eradicate the infestation ourselves, helping the Haven and creating a good first impression with this faction, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing. I don't need to worry about my soldiers' inventory, they're all set up from the last battle. We just need to jump right in and rid them of the enemy. Now this is one of the smallest maps in the game. It's just a little area, and what we need to do is clear out a worm infestation. So immediately I'm going to be jumping my heavy all the way over here, and we have spotted a large group of worms. These are poison worms. They can't move very far. They have super low health. All they do is they run up to your soldiers and they explode. So that would be very bad. But, as you'll see here in a second, they aren't as dangerous as they might seem. And just like that, you saw, they cannot damage our heavy, because they only do 25 damage, which is nowhere near enough to punch through his thick armor. So with all that, we're simply going to run over and
moving fast.
Try and get as many of these worms over here to blow up on our heavy. As for the rest of them,
rolling.
Simply going to let our assaults take care of them.
Let's make this happen. Let me see.
And it looks like if we want to try and get our assault to kill that one, we're going to have to move him up here. This way, the XP is distributed a little bit more evenly. And with that, our final assault will get a kill, allowing him to gain some experience with the rest of them. And we'll punch this one to death as to not waste ammo, completing the mission. Very quick, very simple, not a lot of enemies, not a lot to do. And there we go, the rest of our soldiers get to level 2, and now we're all pretty even in terms of how much experience we gain. Which means I'll have a little bit more upgrades to go over, and then we'll explore. I think we'll explore around a little bit more, and then after that, I'll end it once we find our next mission.
Normally, when we encounter a potential ally, we first send the Apostle to the Onesborn to check them out. But I'm gonna break protocol to say thanks. Now listen, I'll be honest with you. The Exalted is the only one who has any real answers. Tobias West may be clever, and Synedrian may sound great, but only the Exalted is dealing with the world as it actually is. She can lead us out of this mess. Give us lives worth living.
I'd like to know more.
If you want to work with us, you'll still have to deal with the hierarchy. Work your way up from the Apostle to the Onesborn, to the Keeper of the Threshold, all the way up to the Synod of Yearning and the Exalted herself. That's hard work. You'll have to earn the knowledge you gain. But trust me, it'll be worth it. And if the Synod gives you trouble, let me know.
Will do. Thank you for the food, and thank you for liking me just a little bit more. Now with those juicy upgrades, our sniper's first upgrade, Extreme Focus. The cost of his overwatches is reduced by 1, which means if you go down to the 4th stat here, action points, costs 3 to fire a sniper rifle. To overwatch, it only costs 2. Now the pistol, only being 1 action point to shoot, is now completely free to overwatch, which means that every single turn, the sniper can overwatch his pistol with no action points required. This other bonus perk, which you can get, every soldier will have random bonus perks, 3 random bonus perks under here that appear randomly throughout their levels. Sometimes they're all the way in the back here, which can be really inconvenient sometimes. His first bonus upgrade is Healer, allowing him extra healing and more willpower, which will always be helpful. Now for the 3 of our assaults. All of them unlocked the dash ability. Half your movement range for 3 will points and 1 action point. Extremely helpful. It allows them to move very, very fast. So I will be getting that on all 3 of my assaults. You know, our Phoenix 2 here, he's unlocked. He has Farsighted, which allows him more willpower, and he can see further. This is going to be helpful when he gets Return Fire, so that's exactly what I'm going to grab. Phoenix 3 has got Cautious, bonus accuracy, and a little bit less damage, which is fine by me, because he has this upgrade here later, which will get that damage back. Now, Phoenix 4 has Farsighted, which we already explained, and Sniperist, which allows him to use snipers with 25% damage to make them shoot very, very hard, but a big hit to his will points. So because of that, I'm not going to take that upgrade right away. We're instead going to put a point in speed and a point in will. And with that, our upgrade is complete. We got some more research. We got Poison Worm Autopsy and the Disciples of Anu. Now, the Poison Worm Autopsy is very important because it gives us better medkits. So I'm going to be wanting to do that as soon as possible, but I still want Atmosphere Analysis to go first. And we're just going to keep looking around.
Research complete.
Research complete. We can now see where the mist is. And oh boy, it's right here. Right next to our base. Could become very inconvenient. The Phoenix Archives and Haven Recruitment. Also, very, very important. Still think I want Poison Worm Autopsy to go first. Let's keep time moving and explore some new places. Not the Barnacle. Clinging to the ruins of an old library, our operatives have discovered a half-mad creature that resembles a barnacle with a human face. The creature, apparently the former head librarian, is still human enough to give them directions to its hidden treasure. They're rambling and confusing, but somehow quite interesting. I'm going to follow the creature's directions. I could tell the Disciples of Anu, but I don't think I want to. It is not easy to make sense of the creature's directions, but eventually, after a lot of effort, our operatives managed to find a stash where the librarian hid his favorite book, The Complete Works of James Joyce. A valuable finding for humanity, and for those of our operatives who are into that sort of thing. We gained 25 skill points, which is very helpful, and 4 attitude and 4 positive influence with Sinedrion, but we haven't discovered them yet, so we'll find out later. Ah, skill points. It gave us 25 skill points. I should explain that. So those 25 skill points went over here to our Phoenix skill pool, skill points, which is shared by everybody. And then all the soldiers, they have personal skill points that they get after missions and through leveling up. More Disciples of Anu Havens. Always good, because we want to defend those. Because obviously Havens under the Mist are at extreme risk of becoming under attack. Cold, dead hands. The Manticore One has flown over an abandoned village. Our operatives have set down near an old church. The graves have been disturbed. It's almost as if someone dug all the bodies, or they came alive and ripped their way out of the ground. But that doesn't happen, does it? Who knows? On further investigation, it turns out the bodies were dug up as some sort of forgotten experiment. One of the houses in the village has been converted to a lab and is full of human body parts filled with cybernetic enhancements, preserved in some kind of embalming fluid. At least we know the Pandora virus hasn't started animating the dead. I cannot speak. We got some materials, we got some food, and we got some reassuring knowledge that whoever we kill will stay dead, hopefully. Rite of Giving. Our operatives are welcome to Maraud with open arms. Today is the day of the Rite of Giving, when the Disciples of Anu share food with friends and allies. After the appropriate rituals have been performed, fungi are gathered from the field of transubstantiation? What the frick is that word? Transubstantiation. And processed so they may be donated to our cause. I will accept the gift. These fungi may be an unusual source of nutrition, but these are desperate times and humanity needs to adapt. 400 food. Extremely helpful, because now we have so much that we already don't have to worry about a thing.
Research complete.
And the research complete. We get 125 materials and some information about the poison worms, which I will not be reading, but you can if you want to. This unlocks us improved medkit technology, which I would like to move up to come right after these two. I'm trying to explore the places around the mist first, so that we can catch havens that come under attack. The Augury. We catch wind of an ongoing Anu ritual called the Augury. It's a form of divination based on the observations of birds and signs in the sky. The disciples deem the readings of utmost importance, broadcasting the same message on all frequencies. It says, "The moon is dark, and the gods dance in the night." I'm not reading that. "There is terror in the sky. The long, winging flight through the void shall find its resting place tonight. And those below shall suffer, one and all. Somehow, this unnerving clip manages to cause unease even among the most scientifically minded members of our staff. Well, it sure does sound weird.
Research complete.
And now we can recruit people from the Havens. That means that any time this symbol shows up, it means the Haven has someone we can recruit. This right here is a Berserker. They excel in melee combat. They are super lightly armored though, so it is best to build them with high strength so that they don't get themselves killed. Slime Town. Our operatives have discovered a warehouse full of useful resources. However, the warehouse, along with the town it stands in, is covered in a slimy, slippery, algae-like growth that makes doing anything out here tedious and exhausting. Well, I'm gonna get all the resources I can anyways, because who cares if it takes a little extra work? It's hard work, and when it's over, everyone's going to need a good shower, but the effort is worth it. 625 materials, that's a lot, and 100 food, always helpful. But we lost 10 stamina. We didn't actually lose 10 stamina each. Each soldier lost a little bit of stamina, so it gets spread across all our soldiers. Oh, a recover vehicle mission. That is quite interesting. I think this is a good place to start off the next episode. The Haven Trade Protocol. It's very helpful, but we don't really need them right now. You know what? Actually, I think I'm going to end the video off on this episode. All our soldiers are ready. Let's dive right in. I'll finish this up and then we can end the episode off a mission, which is always exciting. And a vehicle, which, no downsides to getting one of those. Scavenging vehicle mission. Locate and reach the vehicle as fast as you can, and then leave with it. Well, guess what? It's right here. And it is a Synedrion Aspida. This is very, very helpful. The Aspida, as you see here in a second, it has full restore, which means 200 healing, it can heal 200 health and heal 200 paralysis. Or, I guess it removes 50% paralysis. I don't know what that means. It says fully heal, I don't know why there's a 200 marker, I don't know what the plus 200 marker means, I don't know what those numbers mean. Either way. Fully heal, and it fully heals the target, it can repair any broken limbs, which is always helpful, and then it removes paralysis. And then the other one is Electric Strike. The target, it does paralysis damage. 20 for each arm. It has 2 arms, so it does 20 damage for each arm. 40 paralysis. That is a hell of a lot. And that will paralyze almost any of the enemies we face right now. It does, 20 damage because to hit paralysis, you have to damage the target. And then it also has piercing, so that it can punch through armor. Very, very helpful. We're gonna run our speed all the way over here to scout for enemies. Oh, we already spotted more Mist Sentinels. Ooh, a fun Triton. Thinking maybe we can lure him out. Well, no, none of our soldiers can reach that far. So we're just gonna move closer.
Running.
They can't stop me.
But not too close, because I want him to come to me. They spawn, they're not so deadliness, it's just annoying. Oh, Triton came out of, or an Arthon came out of nowhere. Oh no, they're stabbing our vehicle. How sad. You see, normally that would be a problem, but the vehicle has so much health that I don't think it matters. Spotted something. It's all the way over here.
Let's go. Ready to engage.
I managed to hit both of them in one attack. Very, very nice. Sniper, what are you doing? I don't want you to move there.
Rolling.
This assault, take care of the Arthron. Make sure he doesn't cause me any trouble.
Operative on the move.
And I'll have my
Firing
sniper.
targets.
Oh, I guess I'll have him damage. I guess I'll have him damage the Arthron.
On the move.
And we can use our assault to finish it up. As for this assault, I think we can put some damage into the Mist.
That was satisfying.
Well, let's see what those enemies do. The Arthron moves over to try and attack our Speedo, and a new challenger has joined the fight. Well, our Heavy is going to move up here because he is quite slow. I'm taking this open path out to the side because I want to try and avoid the mists if I can.
I'm here. Let me see.
I'm going to use this assault to take out the Mist Sentinel to make sure that that area can't get any bigger. I'm going to use this assault to take out the Arthron so that he is not a threat. And if you'll notice, the Arthron has... you know, 10 bleed, which means he takes 10 damage every single turn. And he only has 2 health, so it's not looking good for him. We're gonna shock this Arthron, which means he is the paralysis value is basically you need 1 paralysis for every 10 points of health. So he only has 110 health, so he only needs 11 paralysis. We just gave him 40. Which means he is stuck for 29 turns before he gets to do anything ever again. And then we're going to leave our speed here to see if I can't paralyze that Mist Sentinel.
Moving fast.
With him nice and dead and nothing else
Going in.
of danger, we can simply move along.
Let's go.
And I don't think the Mist Sentinel did anything. I don't remember. I don't know. Maybe it did spawn mist. Who knows? But either way, it is now paralyzed and can no longer do anything. This sign over here is simply the Arthron making noise. But he's already paralyzed, so we don't need to worry about him. Another Arthron appears at our back, but it's okay, because we're faster than him. Means we can simply run away.
I'll be there.
Since our speed is quite fast, we'll have him up the rear to defend our soldiers as they try to leave.
Here they come.
Uh-oh, we spotted a mine fragger. That's no good. If he gets close enough, he'll take control of one of our soldiers, which means we'll have to either shoot or punch him off of the soldier's face, which can be quite annoying.
Go.
But I think he's far enough away that we can get by one turn without having to deal with him. Though, there's nothing stopping us from moving our speed over here to get ready to absolutely paralyze him. Arthron's still chasing us. Mine fragger can't do much. Let's make sure the Arthron can't catch us.
Problem solved.
Since I knew we wouldn't be able to evacuate that turn. And it's good to get our sniper a little bit more XP. We want our sniper to level up quickly. This assault doesn't need to do anything. And I am indeed going to paralyze. Something tells me our sniper is not going to be able to leave this turn, but I think that'll be okay. Another Triton behind us, but we don't need to worry about that. It's just too far away.
Target located.
That's just the mine fragger from earlier. The rest of our soldiers can leave, but since our sniper cannot, we're simply going to wait. Actually, you know what? Since this is a vehicle, and it's completely free to use the vehicle's ammo, I'm going to kill my own. Just like that. Now, because of that, I don't have to go back to my base to recharge. We can all simply evacuate.
Here I come.
And with that, the mission is over. Now normally, sometimes rescue vehicle missions will have you start from the opposite side where we left, and you have to run all the way down, get the vehicle, and then run all the way back, which can be, well, it can actually be quite a bit harder. But we got another level 4, I think that was our assault, which will be quite helpful later. Ugh, I'm not used to talking this much, my throat really hurts. And a Speedo, which we will be sending to Phoenix Point, because our ship does not have enough storage to carry him. But with that being said, I think I'll level up the assault, give him return fire. He can shoot back within half his perception, which means his perception range is 35. He can shoot back within half of that, so 17 tiles, you know? But with farsighted, upgrade that, now we just gave him another 5 tiles, so within 23 tiles, 23 tiles, he can now return fire, which is very, very helpful. But, you know, for now, that's all, guys. 2 missions, very successful. I will see you next time.